Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Modco podcast. On today's episode, we will be talking about the what, why, and how to get organized. Did you know that there are benefits to getting organized? I bet you didn't, but that's okay because we're going to jump into all of that today. Before we hop into this episode, I would just like to say that the Modco podcast is strictly for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be business coaching, medical advice, legal advice, or financial advice. Really quick, before we hop into this episode, I would just like to apologize for any audio issues. I am still learning. I'm still new at this. I am trying my best. So please just bear with me, and I promise that I will get the kinks worked out and figure it all out. But until then, I just ask that you please continue to bear with me. And thank you so much for listening. So with that being said, I hope you all are as excited as I am about today's episode. Not only am I going to be talking about how and why to get organized, but also sharing some of the benefits of getting organized with you. I know a lot of people don't realize that there are benefits to getting organized or being organized, but there are so many benefits that come along with it. I'm not going to share all of them with you today, but I do want to share a few with you, a few that I feel like are good benefits and that may get you on the organizing train if you're not already on it, or if you've kind of been teeter-tottering back and forth about getting on it. So I have 5 that I want to share today. And the top 5 benefits that I'm choosing to highlight today of getting organized are less stress, more sleep or better sleep, saving money, more productivity, and more free time. And I just think that these are great benefits, and they do all kind of tie into each other a little bit. But just to highlight a couple of those, so saving money, you may be thinking, well, how can being organized save me money? Perfect example of this. A couple weeks ago, we were packing to go to Orlando for spring break. And so I have been looking around the house, looked in the medicine bin where we keep all of our medicines, looked in the bathroom. I'm looking everywhere for this Allegra that I know we have. No, there should be almost a full bottle of Allegra. All I find are 2 little individually wrapped pills that had fallen out of the box. I'm like, okay, well, where's the full bottle that we just bought? I haven't used any of it, and I know we shouldn't have gone through it that quickly. My husband's getting ready to run out to the store, and he asked if we need anything. And I said, well, can you please just pick up some Allegra because I can't find our Allegra. We must have used it or accidentally thrown it out. And we always like to take allergy medication with us on a trip just because with the weather change and all that stuff. Anyways, he says, okay, cool. I'll get the Allegra. I continue packing, doing stuff, straightening up, and I hear him coming back in. And as I hear him coming back in, I happen to look on the dresser, and what do I see but that full bottle of Allegra that I knew we had. And in my mind, I'm sitting there thinking, this is why we put stuff back where it belongs. This is why I organize stuff and I have a place for stuff. I'm like, we just wasted $13 on this Allegra that's probably going to expire before we get to use it. Okay, I know you're thinking, Angel, it's $13. Get over it, move on. It is $13, but if you keep just spending $13 or $20 on something that you already have, especially something that's going to take you forever to use, or that's either going to expire before you get to use it, that's money that you could have saved. Think about all the times that you went out and you purchased something, and then you get home only to find out that you already have 3 or 4 of them. That's money that you save. That's money that you wasted. Sorry, not money that you saved. That's money that you wasted. And that adds up over time. It's money that you could be doing something else with. So being organized saves you money. I also want to highlight more productivity really quick, as well as more free time, because I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. Once you get organized, you typically fall into a routine. You typically start putting things back where they go. And that helps you to have more productivity and more free time, because once you get into a routine, you start to realize little things, or once you start to try to get yourself into that routine, you start to realize, okay, I spend 20 minutes a day looking for my keys. Now I have a spot where my keys go. So now that 20 minutes that I spent looking for my keys, I can spend that 20 minutes eating a healthy breakfast. I can spend that 20 minutes doing yoga. I can spend that 20 minutes relaxing. You can spend that 20 minutes doing something that's productive to you, or you can just spend it, or you can just use it as your free time. So, more productivity and more free time is another really good benefit of being organized. Okay, now it's time for the what, why, and how to get organized so that you can start reaping those benefits that I just shared with you. We're going to start with the what. What needs to be organized? And I want you to really think about it. Is it your home office? Is it your email inbox? Is it your CRMs? Is it your pantry, your car, your closet? What is currently causing you unnecessary stress or hindering you from doing great in your business or doing great in your personal life? What did you automatically think about when I said what needs to be organized? The first thing that popped in your mind, that's the thing that needs to be organized. That's what I want you to focus on for the rest of this episode. So once you figured out what it is that needs to be organized, I want you to make a list. I told you I love a good list. So what you're going to do in this list is you're going to write down your what, whether that's 1 what, 2 whats, or 15 whats. I want you to write down what needs to be organized. And after you finish writing down what needs to be organized, I want you to write down why it needs to be organized. Okay, you've got your what and you've got your why. It's time to find out what is a priority. I want you to take a long, hard look at your list. What would make the most difference in your business or your life or both if you were to get it organized now? If there's only 1 or 2 things on your list, then this part's going to be pretty easy. If you have 3 or more things on your list, I want you to seriously sit down, take a look at it, and think about it. Of course, all of the things on your list are something that you want to get organized. Otherwise, you wouldn't have put them on your list. But when considering or trying to figure out what is a priority on your list, look at your why. Your why will help tell you what you need to get started on and what will make the most sense for you to get started with. After you figure out what your priority is on your list, you need to figure out your how. How are you going to get organized? Let's say that you decided that your email needs to be organized and cleaned up. How are you going to organize that? Are you going to go through and unsubscribe from email lists that you no longer wish to be a part of, or from emails that you no longer read? Are you going to go through and delete all of your unread messages? Are you going to start using email filters and folders? How? What's going to be your first step? What if you decided that you're going to organize your closet? Are you just going to go in there and throw everything away? Are you going to start at the back of your closet where you're keeping that old dress and it's time for you to get rid of? Are you going to start with those shoes that you never wear that you need to get rid of? How are you going to get organized? Decide what makes the most sense for your how and start there. And don't let your how get to you. Don't let it stress you out. Don't let it make you feel overwhelmed. The how is it's honestly just taking the first step. You just need to take the first step. Delete that first email, unsubscribe from that first email list, create that first email folder, get rid of the first pair of shoes, get rid of that dress that you're no longer wearing. Come up with the plan and just get started on it. That's it. So, getting organized is not something that's meant to frustrate you. It's meant to help you. And if you find yourself getting if you find yourself getting frustrated while you're organizing, take a break, walk away from it, just chill for a few minutes and come back to it once you feel less stressed and less overwhelmed. Because remember, one of the benefits of getting organized is for you to have less stress. So don't allow it to stress you out. Don't allow it to get the best of you. Start small and take a break if you need to. Do you need help getting your business back on track? Are you feeling overwhelmed or burnt out? Do you find yourself with less time to focus on the things you love? Allow me to introduce you to the Modest Company. The Modest Company supports female entrepreneurs through virtual assistant services such as business organization, email management, and public relations and marketing. Are you ready to get back to focusing on the things you love? Then book your consultation today at themodcosc.com because we are better together. Thanks for listening to the Modco podcast. Make sure to rate and follow the show everywhere you listen to podcasts, including Spotify. Also, be sure to turn on your episode notification and auto download so you never miss an episode.